Attend. At ease. Welcome to your nonprofit wars briefing of the week. Let's get right into it. We don't have much time before the bullets start flying. We've got an important election season coming up, and these grifting nonprofits are trying to use the millions of dollars they're taking from taxpayers illegally to get these people elected again. Who are these people? We're talking today about Carroll Fife and her husband, Terha Akkad, or Earl Harper. Grifting 101 with Carroll Fife and Earl Harper. Carroll Fife came to prominence in 2020 in the woke revolution. Since then, her nonprofits, her web of nonprofits, have gone from zeros to heroes. They went from being broke to having millions. And even though they've got millions, Carroll Fife still claims she can't afford her rent. No, I'm not sure about that. But today we're going to look deep into what's really going on with Anti-Police Terror Project, Community Ready Corps, Affect Real Change, and Moms for Housing. We may not get into Moms for Housing this week, but as you saw last week, Moms for Housing is in big trouble. They haven't filed the proper paperwork with the state, and Carroll Fife has used those poor moms and those children to rise to political prominence. We can't have that in Gotham Oakland. We've got to get ready for the nonprofit wars. Let's jump in. Here we have Carroll Fife and her husband. Now, I know she said that they're not husbands, but as you see here, in 2020, when they were rising to prominence, they referred to each other as husband and wife. You have this here highlighted when it talks about where comes Fife, or where Fife comes from. East Oakland occupies a converted industrial garage in gentrifying East Oakland. This is from the reporter from the New York Review. Her name is Tammy Kim. On my first visit, I was led in by a staffer for billionaire Tom Steyer's presidential campaign, which had at least adjoining space. Tom Steyer actually funds another nonprofit, Todco, who's a really nasty nonprofit homeless industrial complex grip. Very interesting to see his name here. I just noticed that, but we'll get back to that. Don't lose focus. The office is located close to Fruitvale Bus Station, which came to national attention in 2009 into the murder of Oscar Grant. This death started the Defund the Police movement in America, but it also changed the way that Fife and her husband, Terha, conceive of their work in the community. Husband and wife. Since then, they've made broad community connections, the most famous being Moms for Housing, which led to Carroll Fife being elected to City Council in 2022. Moving on, take a close look at these two. They've made a lot of money in the city. We don't know what they've done with it. We know that they bought dump trucks that sit parked for weeks at a time. We know that they bought gift cards that they claim to have given to the community, but we don't know how many. And there's also lots of money missing from their 990s. We're going to get into their finances in a little bit, but before then, if you're still paying attention, hey, you, wake up. Soldier, wake up. There's no sleeping on duty. Absolutely not. What is your first general order of a century? That joke's going to go over a lot of people's head. I'm probably going to say it again. Take a close look at these two, and let's get into the details about where exactly is the money coming from, and what are they doing with these millions of dollars, and how did they go from having very little money in their bank account to millions conveniently immediately after Carroll Fife was elected to City Council. The Oakland Defund the Police movement is starting to look a lot like fraud. In this article, done by Pirate Wire, who dove deep into the finances of Anti-Police Terror Project, we're going to get a bigger glimpse into exactly what their 990s look like. Okay, here is the 990s for Affect Real Change. Look at the years 2018. I want you to look at the top here under general public support. 2018, $113,000. 2019, $147,000. 2022, $3.9 million. 2021, 3.1, 2022, $2 million. Total, just $9 million. The vast majority of it coming right after Carroll Fife was elected. Now, Affect Real Change gives money to their board members. If you look at their board members, it consists of Carroll Fife, her husband, her husband's mother. These organizations are registered in Monroe, Louisiana. The Oakland Defund the Police movement is starting to look a lot like fraud. Get rich quick scene for the well-connected, a case study of what happens when the moral panic produces a windfall of fringe activist causes. And Oakland fell for it, hook, line, and sinker. At least in the hills they did. When all you saw was Black Lives Matter, and in this house we believe blah, 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 you didn't see those signs in the hood too much. Anti-Police Terror Project was founded by Cat Books and Earl Harper, and also by Carroll Fife. We covered this in the previous episode. Carroll Fife had to recuse herself from the board when she was elected, and Simon was able to funnel, while president of a condi, hundreds of thousands of dollars to the Anti-Police Terror Project to support their efforts to defund the Oakland PD. Where did that money go? Surely they never defunded it, right? So did they put it in their pockets? It looks like they gave hundreds of thousands of dollars in grants to their own nonprofits and LLCs run by board members, friends, and families. We're not here to talk about Latifah Simon today. The money comes from her, who gives the money to Affect Real Change, who then uses it to fund two other organizations. Anti-Police Terror Project, founded by Cat Books and Oakland City Councilwoman Carroll Fife's husband, Earl Harper, and the Community Ready Corps, also run by Earl Harper. Then in 2022, the Rosenberg Foundation, which Simon is also a board member, gave 3-year unrestricted grants to Cat Books and the Terror Project's Vice President, Shani Turner. Ooh, Shani Turner is a nasty piece of work. I can't wait to get closer to her. We're gonna have an episode on the Emerald New Deal and talk about how Shani Turner sabotaged efforts for cannabis reform in the city of Oakland that was being spearheaded by then Councilmember Lauren Taylor. Anyway, back to the briefing. The money was for the work to end and replace the incarceration and criminalization of young people of color. They didn't do any of that. What they did do was put a lot of money in their own pocket. In total, Anti-Police Terror Project, which only incorporated as a nonprofit in 2021, received over $8 million in 2 years from multiple organizations, including Akondai, the Rosenberg, the San Francisco Foundation, the Arts Community Fund, controlled by socialist Dean Preston, and the Solidarity Network, funded by Mark Zuckerberg Charity, another billionaire. It sounds like Piedmont, we forgot Quinn Delaney and Wayne Jordan, who also gave significant contribution. We've got Piedmont millionaires, we've got tech billionaires. At one point, I think Zuckerberg was one of the top 5 richest people in the world. And these are people who claim that they're astroturf. But the nonprofit wars, we're going to prove not only are they not astroturf, they're stealing money from the taxpayer. A lot of this money comes from public funds, in addition to these mega foundations. So where did that $8 million go? Looks like most of it went to Earl Harper. Per ITPT's financial disclosure, it gave $400,000 to Affect Real Change for radical redistribution gifts. But that's strange. Isn't Affect Real Change Terror Project's own fiscal sponsor? How does this work? It looks like they're recycling the money with each other. But then there's Harper's mother, who also takes the $84,000 a year salary, and Harper, who also takes a salary of nearly $150,000. But it's unclear what else Affect Real Change is doing with the money. As you know, websites in its most recent 990 states, its mission is to conduct community involvement. They're buying gift cards. That's what the word in the street is. They're buying gift cards. That's what they're doing with the money. They're taking millions of dollars. Oh, we've looked at these forms already, but just to give a sense of who the officers are, let me scroll up. Do they have the... Look here. They're registered in Monroe, Louisiana. How is Affect Real Change registered in Monroe, Louisiana, taking money from California taxpayers? That's illegal. Rob Bonta may want to look into that. Oakland side, Darvo Bongram may want to look into that before the FBI does. Anyway, back to radical redistribution. I love these taglines they have. We imagine public safety, radical redistribution. Basically, it means we're going to take that money and put it in our pocket and buy whatever they buy with it. I'm not quite sure what these people do with the money. We do know that Cat Books buys poorly built ADUs that you try to charge people an arm and a leg for. Here's another one. Here's a part that should be investigated by the FBI. Hopefully, they're already on it. There's a lot of bookkeeping oversights when it comes to the reporting. For instance, on its 2022 financial disclosure form, the Anti-Police Terror Project said that it gave $400,000 to the Christopher Lavelle Jones Foundation, which is run by Brenda Grisham, one of the leaders of the Pam Price recall. Yes, one of the leaders of the Pam Price recall received $400,000 from Cat Brooks in just 2022. But did she receive $400,000? Because when we spoke to Brenda, she claimed that she only received $200,000 from the group. And she told Pirate Wires when those discrepancies were brought to her attention by yours truly, she called Cat Brooks and the Anti-Police Terror Project. They told her it was due to an accounting error, and they fixed the paperwork, backdated it by 2 years, and then claimed that they gave it to the lower bottom players, an organization that Cat Brooks is also affiliated with. So it looks like they get money and they recycle it around with their board members, and then they give it to the LLCs, but it never quite gets spent on what it's supposed to be spent on. These organizations are not registered in California. There are huge financial discrepancies. $200,000 Cat Brooks missing for 2 years from a 990, and that didn't trigger any type of audit or financial scrutiny. It looks like someone's being protected here. And who will be protecting these nonprofits? Who will be protecting these nonprofits? That's going to be a future episode as we keep digging to this bills. There's several layers to this, to the nonprofit grift. First is what they're doing with the money, how they're spending it, and then how they're using it politically. Okay, moving on. The Terror Project also gave a radical redistribution gift to Shani Turner, LLC, $55,000, the corporation of one of its vice presidents, and then another $400,000 to Community Ready Corps, which, like Effect Will Change, is also run by Earl Harper. Community Ready Corps also nearly got $2.1 million from Peralta School Foundation from a community-based security services, which is a grift that warrants its own special episode. But a group of student journalists busted them not having the proper licensing, and since they didn't have the proper licensing, they weren't able to take this contract, and it looks like they were fined $5,000 for improper reporting. Somehow Oakland continues to miss these things. There's a lot more dirt on Harper and the CRC. They've also, as you recall in an earlier episode, Terha is facing criminal charges for the battery of Vincent Williams III. This is a lot more on him, and that is what we're going to cover next. Before we move on to the next article, to take a deeper look at Earl Harper, I want you to think about a few things. Carroll Fife has a few nonprofits connected to her who have barely any money. Then she gets elected, and all of a sudden they have millions, some of it from public funds. Then these nonprofits seem to use this money to peddle influence and illegally campaign when it's election season. And why are we allowing this? We're not anymore. Nonprofit wars is about fighting back. You're not just here to get an intelligence briefing. We're going to show you later how to report these non-compliant nonprofits. And I hope you take time out of your busy day to do that, like you did to watch me. Thank you for rocking with me. Thank you for getting this intelligent briefing. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Let's go on to the next article. Here we'll be sharing a great investigation from Jack Henry Mueller, a local writer and thinker and philosopher who's done really good work in exposing Carroll Fife and her violent husband, who runs a security service, although he has none of the proper paperwork. So there's a few that I want to go in. Lee Fang also covered this. I mean, this is, you know what? Remember this one? Billionaires funding abolish the police activists invest in a security startup. It's always the billionaires and millionaires around these nonprofits who claim to be grassroots. On the Earl Harper. Pay very close attention. It's a very, very dangerous man. GetArmedNow.org. Earl Harper, who's doing the Detroit special ops, removing bullets and catching bullets. Whoa! 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 I don't know, man. Oh my God, bro, this dude is so cringe. I really hope he doesn't find these maneuvers in real life. Oh, he's stabbing him. Oh, he's offing him. Ah! Yo, that is too funny. Oh my God. You gotta be kidding me. I hope you enjoyed that commercial. That's Toha AK or Earl Harper. And he is a violent person. He beat up Vincent, although he outweighs him by about 100 pounds. But yeah, that's Earl Harper. Let's get back to Earl Harper's finances. Pay close attention. You're going to learn something today. Remember how this guy's always walking around with a dump truck talking about positive pull-ups? Well, that dump truck moves about once a week. I can tell you because it's around the corner from me. But more importantly, let's talk about CRC. They appear to be a Black Power club that does stuff. They do give out gift cards. But if you're concerned that they're a scam, fear not. They're funded by the Delaney's, Quinn Delaney and Wayne Jordan. Once again, the multi-mega millionaire philanthropists. They may be billionaires, I have no idea. But I do know that they routinely outspend anyone when it comes to Oakland politics, doing things like giving Community Ready Corps millions of dollars to do who knows what. But when you listen to his rhetoric, here's what you hear. The out-of-town billionaires from Piedmont are trying to ruin everything so they can sell it at the lowest bidder. But he's the one doing it for them. Who do you think making the neighborhood less safe? His wife, Carroll Fife, with her Defund The Police policies on city council. Make it make sense. Let's proceed with this briefing. In other words, how does he make money? By the way, subscribe to Jack Henry Mueller. I'll circle it right here. Make sure you become a subscriber if you appreciate this article. Jack, thank you for this thorough intelligence briefing so we can pass this on to the people of Oakland and Gotham Oakland. Let's proceed. Harper's other vocation is private security. He's operated multiple private security businesses over his career. In California, he has no license. For example, let's consider Urban Shield. He has a habit of not establishing clear mission statements, but he also needs some cyber support because this website has broken links. His Facebook advertisement for Urban Shield has 0 likes and 0 followers. He couldn't even get Trashy to follow him. They didn't even follow him with themselves. And they're talking about cybersecurity has been one of the most important points of infrastructure. Don't get caught without adequate protection. The global meltdown we experienced should not have happened. This is in July 22nd of 2023, I presume. So he looks like he's on some quasi-prepper shit, which I don't really actually have an issue with, but it looks like a grift to me. Okay, he also ran another unit called ARMED, Armed Security Services, LLC. They also have multiple Facebook pages with different names and different links, but the website is still defunct. It looks like he doesn't really understand in order to do business, you need a functioning website and people need to contact you. That's if he actually plans on doing legitimate business. But that's not all. Community Ready Corps, the main one that's getting a lot of money, does all the self-defense stuff like you saw in that video. They're also the ones who attack me. We're going to have a whole episode about this when I got attacked by Earl Harper's security. But on this day, actually, no, we don't have time today. Just so you know, for context, on that day, we were protesting Oakland's Mayor Chantal for her recall effort. She had no security present, and myself and other volunteers were violently attacked by this guy. I mean, I was laughing at him. It's kind of funny. But they tried to get us nevertheless. We were violently attacked by this guy. Okay, so let's get more into his security licenses that he doesn't have. Earl Harper does not have a security license. Its expiration date, you see that it's been suspended, not qualified, cancel, cancel, cancel. All of this was broke in the excellent reporting by David Rowe for The Citizen about Urban Shield when they tried to get a contract with the Peralta Schools Foundation for a good amount of money. Again, we don't have enough time to cover all of this today. We have a few more things to get into, but we will come back and revisit the Peralta Schools Foundation and the grip that they tried to run for over $2 million after they defunded the security out of the schools, and then tried to replace them with their own security agency that had no license and no training and had previously had issues for beating up people or something like that. So, and another issue is his criminal record. Now, I don't know why Darwin never found this or cares to report on it in Soggy side, but Earl Harper has a criminal record, and it's related to guns, the pew-pews. He got booked for a firearm charge in 1997 and was sentenced to 2 years probation. So he actually pled guilty. He was also arrested last year for battery for the vicious and violent and brutal attack on Oakland's beloved homeless activist Vincent Ray Williams III, who heads the Urban Compassion Project. Earl Harper is on trial next week on August the 5th. For this battery, we will be at the courthouse to protest him and let people know what he's doing. Did you get all that? If not, that's fine. You can replay this video. You can watch it again. You can like, comment, and subscribe. You can share it with people to make sure that everybody's getting this valuable information ahead of this election cycle and make sure they don't vote for this grifter, Carroll Fife. So we're going to go through Twitter and do a quick recap. Okay, let's go through this again just to make sure you didn't miss anything. We're going to use a great briefing that Tom put out in July, or looks like over a year ago, in 2023, about exactly what Effect Real Change is doing in Monroe, Louisiana. There are some intriguing findings regarding the organization of Effect Real Change in Monroe, Louisiana, which was previously led by Carroll Fife, who has now been succeeded by her spouse, Earl Harper. It's noteworthy that this nonprofit received significant funding from undisclosed sources. Let's take a closer look. I want to show people really quickly how you can report non-compliant nonprofits. You want to do your part in this war? You need to report them. To the Soggies, they know this. They report everyone for everything. They're hard-monitored Karens. Now, you don't want to be hard-monitored Karens, but we do want to report grifting nonprofits who are stealing millions of dollars of public funds. I think that's okay. So make sure you report them, and we're going to show you how right now. How to report non-compliant nonprofits to the IRS. To report a non-compliant nonprofit organization for providing false information on their Form 990s and request a revocation of the 501c3 status, follow these steps. First, gather evidence. Collect all relevant information and evidence that supports your claim that the nonprofit provided false information on their Form 990. This may include copies of a 990 in question, any supporting documentation, and any other relevant information that demonstrates the falsification of evidence. Number two, contact the IRS. You can report this issue to the IRS by submitting Form 13909, 13909, anyway, tax-exempt organizations complaint referral form. This form is available on the IRS website. You can also call the IRS toll-free at 1-877-829-5500, 1-877-829-5500. Make sure you do that. Analyze these Form 990s. Take a close look at them. They will give you lots of information. That's how we busted Cat Brooks and trying to hide $200,000 that she claimed that she gave to Brenda, nonprofit, the Christopher Lavelle Jones Foundation, and then she claims she gave it to the lower bottom players. We want to know what really happened to that $200,000 until there's a clear audit of this nonprofit. Will that ever happen? I don't know. Hopefully, if you report them, we need everyone, take a minute right now, go to the IRS website. I'll go back up and give it to you one more time in case you weren't listening. The IRS website, just go to the IRS website and Google it. We didn't list it. So Google the IRS website, go to it, and put in report, noncompliant 990s, irs.gov.dmaf form 13909. And you go through these instructions and make sure you're detailed and report them. If everyone's doing this, imagine having a few thousand reports about all of these grifting nonprofits and what they're doing illegal in California, out of compliance with their tax status. They want to play the nonprofit wars, we're going to play the nonprofit wars. We're going to make sure that we seek and destroy our enemy. So I need you to do this right now. Take a moment and do it right now. Thank you. Why is there so many of these same nonprofit structures getting so much dark money that seems to trace back to China? What's going on here? Nonprofit wars. That's what's going on here. Make sure you tune in next week. This is the mayor of Gotham Oakland, Senator Scott. God bless you. Have a good day.
Yo, I swear it's only up from here. Yo, I swear it's only up from here. Yo, I swear it's only up from here. Yo, I swear it's only up from here.